This episode contains discussions of abusive relationships. Listen to your own discretion. It is Sunday, the 2nd of March, 2025. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today, we're talking about Slipknot. I don't think I've talked about Slipknot yet, which I suppose I haven't gotten into super heavy stuff on this podcast. I mean, I talked about like Devin Townsend Between the Buried and Me, but I really like Slipknot, which might surprise people. Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, is one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm not as big on their first two as a lot of fans are because I prefer the more melodic stuff, and I'm really into their later albums. We Are Not Your Kind in particular, although I also liked the most recent one. God, what was it called? The End So Far. I liked both of those as well, but Volume 3 will always remain my favorite, I think. And what I really like about Slipknot is that they're famous for their, like, I did my time, like heavy and growling and pulsing music and oil drums and everything. But they also have some really good, softer songs, or songs that play with the dynamics more. One of my favorites of theirs is Vermilion Part 2. I don't know if I'll have time to talk about it in this show, but I really love that song. It's just like an acoustic guitar song, you know? The song we're talking about today is the song Snuff from their album All Hope Is Gone. It's probably Slipknot's best song. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's certainly in my top 5 though. Like I said, I might prefer Vermilion Part 2, and I really like Danger Keep Away as well. But anyway, and this song is not as quiet as some of their other stuff, but it's a song that builds, starts quiet, gets louder, and you know I love songs like that. And it's got some really interesting lyrics. I didn't realize, I decided to do this song because I wanted to, and then like a while later decided I was going to do Cherry Wine the day before. I didn't realize until afterwards that I was like, oh, those songs are not dissimilar actually in theme. But yeah, let's go. Oh, there is a music video. It's a short film. I'm not going to be rewatching it now. I think it has dialogue in it, so it is very good, but I would maybe not recommend it for your first listen. So if you listen to the song and like it, go back and watch it maybe, but I would recommend now, if you haven't heard the song before, to just listen to the song itself. So let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that was Snuff by Slipknot. Whew. Bit of a different energy, like I said, to Cherry Wine, but there are parts of the lyrics that kind of align. It's not really about domestic violence like Cherry Wine is. I'm going to read a quote from Corey Taylor here. I suppose I didn't say anything about Slipknot as a band, but you know who Slipknot are. They're a big band of masked people. They have a whole spooky vibe. The lead singer is Corey Taylor. He said about this song, "This is the slow one. It's another personal one. Again, not naming names. It's about someone who helped me through a lot, and I thought she felt the same way that I did, and then she really let me down. At the same time, it was good that she did, because it was that final push to me figuring out myself." The lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. So the lyrics aren't necessarily about an abusive relationship, but they're about a relationship where one person, the feelings are uneven, and when they realize this, it's like this harsh ejection, and there's resentment and rage, and it's really well realized, I think. There's a quote from Joey Jordison, who was the drummer of the band. He was fired from the band after this album. I don't know what the whole story is there, and he unfortunately passed a few years ago in 2021. He died from, acute transverse myelitis, a rare neurological condition where the spinal cord is inflamed. That sucks. Anyway, so the quote from Joey Jordison is, "Corey doesn't really write music for Slipknot, but when he came over to hear the songs Paul Gray, the bassist, and I were working on For All Hope Is Gone, he showed me this. I had him lay a scratch track down to the studio, then I went in late at night without telling him and laid down some drums. When he heard it the next day, he started crying. It's Corey's masterpiece." I would tend to agree there. Kind of makes me think of the whole story with Fake Plastic Trees, of recording the tracks and then crying, you know. But anyway, incidentally, that quote mentions Paul Gray, who was the bassist for Slipknot, and also died, although he died pretty soon after this album released, I think. This album's 2008, he died in 2010, and then their next album was like a tribute to him called The Gray Chapter. I also really like that album, incidentally. Anyway, so let's go through the lyrics, shall we? "Bury all your secrets in my skin, come away with innocence and leave me with my sins. The air around me still feels like a cage, and love is just a camouflage for what resembles rage again. So if you love me, let me go, and run away before I know. My heart is just too dark to care, I can't destroy what isn't there. Deliver me into my fate, if I'm alone I cannot hate. I don't deserve to have you. Ooh, my smile was taken long ago, if I can change I hope I never know." So, yes, it starts off with the acoustic guitar and the voice being like, "Bury all your
your secrets in my skin.
And kind of builds up over the chorus, and then the drums come in, you know. Bury all your secrets in my skin, come away with innocence and leave me with my sins. So, you know, he's talking about trusting each other with things and sharing in them, but then only leaving the negatives behind, you know. The air around me still feels like a cage. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. He feels trapped, and love is just a camouflage for what resembles rage again. So he's kind of talking about the hurt feelings and the resentment that comes out of this rejection, you know. So if you love me, let me go. Classic phrase. I love Brendan Urie. And run away before I know. So here he's saying, if you really loved me, you would have left before this became an issue, basically. My heart is just too dark to care. I can't destroy what isn't there. So depressed from this, he said, like, you know, my heart would break if I had one. It's a very sort of emo lyric, but it's a relatable one. Deliver me into my fate. If I'm alone, I cannot hate. So he's trying to say, like, you know, if I don't have any feelings at all, I won't feel bad. I don't deserve to have you. Ooh, my smile was taken long ago. If I can change, I hope I never know. This song is infectious, despite it being so sad. I just love the tune of the chorus. It's so good. So yes, I don't deserve to have you. Pretty self-explanatory, self-deprecation. Ooh, my smile was taken long ago. He's been sad for so long. If I can change, I hope I never know. He doesn't want things to change, which is just such a... Ugh. He doesn't want to be happy because he doesn't think he should be happy again. I still press your letters to my lips and cherish them in parts of me that savor every kiss. I couldn't face a life without your light, but all of that was ripped apart when you refused to fight. So save your breath, I will not hear. I think I made it very clear. You couldn't hate enough to love. Is that supposed to be enough? I only wish you weren't my friend, then I could hurt you in the end. I never claimed to be a saint. Ooh, my own was banished long ago. It took the death of hope to let you go. So I still press your letters to my lips and cherish them in parts of me that savor every kiss. He has love letters that he still holds dear and rereads and, you know, keeps them precious. Cherish them in parts of me that savor every kiss makes me think of it being a bit of a sexual reference, like he's masturbating, but I don't think it needs to be that. It's just what it makes me think of. I couldn't face a life without your light, obvious, but all of that was ripped apart when you refused to fight. I assume when he says when you refuse to fight, he means like fight for me, fight for my love, you know? So save your breath, I will not hear. I think I made it very clear. Don't talk, I'm not listening. You couldn't hate enough to love. Is that supposed to be enough? So he's twisting what he said in the first chorus of not having emotions. He's saying that if you don't hate me, you don't love me because you don't care about me, right? And then the line that everyone quotes from this song, and it hurts so much, I only wish you weren't my friend, then I could hurt you in the end. There's some amount of attachment still there, some love still there, and he wants to hurt her. He wants to break this off completely, but he can't do that because he still has this affection for her. She's still his friend, you know? I never claimed to be a saint. My own was banished long ago. It took the death of hope to let you go. So kind of referencing the title of the album's called All Hope Is Gone. And so he's talking about how because he feels hopeless now, that's the only way that he can possibly let this relationship go, you know? And then we get a guitar solo and then the final chorus. So break yourself against my stones and spit your pity in my soul. You never needed any help. You sold me out to save yourself. And I won't listen to your shame. You ran away. You're all the same. Angels lie to keep control. Oh, my love was punished long ago. If you still care, don't ever let me know. So it becomes this rousing, resentful thing at the end of like, it starts off him being like, you know, I can't believe you didn't love me. I'm so heartbroken. And then the second part, it's like the stages of grief almost. The second part is him saying that he still has this affection for her. And then the third part is him saying that I don't want to know if you still love me because that'll only hurt. Break yourself against my stones, or erosion, right? And spit your pity in my soul. He hates that she pities him. You never need any help. You sold me out to save yourself. Obviously blaming her for everything. And I won't listen to your shame. You ran away. You're all the same. So he's been hurt before and he hates that she did the same thing. Angels lie to keep control. That's an interesting lyric. My love was punished long ago. If you still care, don't ever let me know. He's kind of saying too little too late. I don't want to know that you still care. I don't want to know that you still love me in some way because you've hurt me and I want to forget about you. I want you to go away. I don't care that you still love me. So it's this interesting kind of 360 throughout the whole thing of his feelings. And I really, really like it. And I love the way it builds up because it starts off so if you love me, let me go. And then eventually it turns into, you know, so break yourself against my stones. Oh, it's such a good and so well composed And that is it for today. And indeed for this week. Next week, as I mentioned, is going to be the spring week. I'm finally doing that, my final seasonal week. That'll be interesting. I'll, of course, be starting off with Spring by Andrew Wong. So look forward to that next week. Those episodes will all be recorded while I'm in Scotland, before I go to Scotland, then uploaded while I'm in Scotland. So that's fun. Coming back on the Thursday. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Death because of you. And if everyone's depressed, then no one's depressed. Took the death of hope to let you go.